Hey everyone, my name is Antonio Gomes. I'm the Director of Operations at the Blockchain Education Network. It's a 501c3 organization based in the United States. It's a non-profit, founded all the way back in 2014. Today I'll do a brief overview of our operations, what we have been up to since the last 6 years. I feel like a dinosaur in this space at this point. And yeah, let's get started. So here's a little bit about Ben's history. Founded in 2014, we're the largest and oldest network of blockchain students, professors, and alumni around the world. Initially started by a group of college students at University of Michigan, MIT, and Stanford that just got together to share their resources, like a Google Drive about Bitcoin or about just anything in space. And just at the time, people, like nobody was talking about the technology, so students wanted to get more immersed or just have someone to build on a project. So Ben was founded with that mission. And we kept growing over the years to more than 200 schools and more than 60 blockchain clubs. Myself, I founded the Gator Blockchain Club at the University of Florida. This was back in 2016, and I remember those were tough years, time of the Silk Road, and the whole stigma against crypto, and we had to convince our school board to allow us to have a Bitcoin club. And since then, more than 15 startups were founded by Ben alumni and more than 5,000 students and alumni. And our Twitter has grown to 23 plus followers. And our newsletter just keeps growing to more than 7,000 plus subscribers. Here's a bit about our history. I'll do a brief rundown. So in 2014, we got founded. Most of the organizations that you see here, Ben kept growing. We even started a chapter in Italy, and Penn State and Georgia Tech hosted the first Bitcoin hackathons. And there was the MIT Bitcoin airdrop in October 2014. Eric is here in the audience himself. He was part of the MIT Bitcoin Club. And in 2015 was a big year for Ben. That's when we received the tax exemption status from the IRS, the 501c3, that turned us into a non-profit. And later that year, we also launched the startup BitQuick. Was from the students from the Ohio State. In 2016, there's a couple cool events that happened. Pretty interesting one, for those that are not familiar, the TNBC. It's an event that happens in Miami every year, the North American Bitcoin Conference. That was actually where Ethereum was first released in 2014. And part of Ben's mission, and me being a student at Florida, I always got my free tickets through Ben because I couldn't afford them. And Ben was that backbone organization that gave me the support. So that was pretty cool because I could get a crypto education through going through conferences. And there was a nonprofit in the US that enabled me and my other peers to attend these events with the less cost. And yeah, in 2018, the organization kept growing. We did more events and hackathons. This time we were in the Netherlands, and we started onboarding students, and we even planned a conference there. And more events happened throughout the year. In 2018, we sponsored 5 students to fly all the way from India and participate at an MIT hackathon. And it was actually pretty cool because they own the hackathon on zero knowledge proofs. And it just kept growing throughout the year. We also did Aperi-Tech meetups across Italy, and the chapter in Italy kept growing. And we also started educating students in Vietnam and Australia. In 2019, Ben brought students to ETH Denver, ETH Boston, MIT Bitcoin Expo, and a couple other events throughout the year. In 2020, things started shifting a little bit. We got some more interest from companies in the space, and Ben really experienced a major period of growth here. We started onboarding students in Africa and Turkey. We saw a spike in interest, particularly from students in Turkey at Istanbul University, Sabancı, and a bunch of other universities there. Students wanted to learn more about crypto, get an education. And it was always really hard because there was no resources available to them on their language. So we helped them out have access to a network of peers to connect resources and even help them out translating material. And in 2021 was a massive pivot year for Ben because we're mostly focused in flying students to conferences, in-person events. And as you know, COVID happened, so we had to shift to the digital world. And that's when we prepared to release our digital platform called Ben Learn, where students can take any courses about any topics they're interested on. And we can also scale, not to only a couple thousands, but to millions of users. So we also received a couple of grants that year. We also partnered up with Blockchain at Berkeley to host their blockchain development courses. And later that year, when things started opening up, mostly in the States, we sponsored free Airbnb and flight tickets for a couple of conferences like the Central Miami, Solar Breakpoint, Cosmosverse, and a couple others that happened throughout the year. And that was pretty cool to see students getting all together and being back in person to learn about the space. And there's really interesting stories that happen. We flew a couple students from Turkey to attend Cosmosverse in Lisbon, for example, and that was life-changing for them because they didn't know what to build on or what protocol they should use, if it was Cosmos or Ethereum. And going to these conferences and being in person at these events is life-changing when they go back to their countries. And we definitely capture some of those good stories that are on our website. You guys can follow up there. And BEN 2022 and above, what is our mission, the urgency and solution? A little bit about our mission. We want to create more educational resources. Basically, more courses in different languages, host more workshops around the world, provide more free education, and scale our app and BEN Learn to onboard more users. The urgency, this is a problem that still plagues the education industry or the crypto industry, is that since crypto was first invented, there has not been many universities adopting courses for credits. And the ones who do, they charge over that $10,000 to take a master's in crypto or to take just a class. So we have seen universities lagging tremendously behind in educating their students about crypto. I was fortunate to have a course in my university that was counted towards 3 credits about blockchain, but that was it. Everything else that I learned was on the side or by attending events that Ben would help me out when I was a student. So that was pretty important. Urgency, these are some of the sustainable goals that we touch upon, that we're focused, is providing quality education, gender equality, and work in economic growth. And there's another one there, it's reduced inequalities. Particularly gender inequality, that's something we've seen a lot in the developing world. Me, myself, going out to Turkey and working with students there, there's been quite hard to balance that. In society, it's a very male-oriented society, and we've been promoting more gender equality there, and that's part of what I'm very passionate about working with Ben. The urgency around the world, as I spoke before, Turkey, Africa, conversations are very different there than in the developed world. Students rely on crypto, Ethereum, stablecoins to put their life savings because they don't trust the Turkish lira or they don't trust the government. So Ethereum became actually a way to survive in a sense where they are able to use the stablecoin because most of the times the government blocks access to US dollars or they just don't trust other third parties. And here's a study by Coinbase that about 41 of the top 50 universities have at least one student-run club. And these clubs, usually they pop in and then after a couple of years they die out. And many of these students come to us and they reach out, help on setting up a club. How can they navigate the administration and get club funding? So this is also something we've been focusing on and helping out. And even this last week, I got a couple applications of students in India that needed help setting up their club or they needed the educational resources. And it just keeps growing. Students all over the world are more eager to learn and set up their clubs and be leaders and entrepreneurs in this space. And that's really cool. Ben solution, we believe the way to combat this is to educate students about technology and empower them to build protocols, applications, and organizations to their communities and local officials. What is Ben Learn? This is our online platform, as I mentioned. We're actually releasing a mobile app by the end of August, is where students can learn, take any courses on Web3. We actually have some Solidity courses that we're offering, blockchain fundamentals, Bitcoin basics, really everything is there. And we plan on educating 10 million people over the next 10 years. It's a pretty bold goal, but that's where we focus on. Here are some of our tangible results. I don't know if you guys are familiar with some of these companies, Augur, IOTA, Quantum. These were all students that we flew into conferences, that we got them to be in the same Airbnb, to come up with an idea, or to network, or to meet the co-founder. And it's pretty cool because some of these students, they go on, they found these companies, they become very wealthy, and then they want to donate back. They want to give back to the company and sort of perpetuate this success. So we can see this happening over and over. And that's part of what we believe at Ben that we should keep doing, inspiring students to be founders, entrepreneurs, and go out there and try, connect, and create something. And here are some of our links. You can follow us on Twitter, blockchain.edu. We post most of our work there. And if you want to learn more about our website, it's blockchain.edu.org. If you are up to donate, it's blockchain.edu.org/donate. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know.
Any question for Antonio?
Hi, thanks for the great talk. I'm interested to know if you have any plans to add many more different languages and frameworks for new networks coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. We just partnered up with Cello to do a course on Cello, for example, and mostly of our devs are Canadian or US based, and the courses are in English. But there's a tremendous demand to have courses in Turkish, Punjabi, or other languages, and that's where we see the biggest potential. Even myself, I'm from Portugal. I speak Portuguese, and there's no content in Portuguese. So.
Beg your pardon. I meant programming languages driving different blockchains.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On EVM.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just starting with Solidity, and we got an instructor teaching Solidity, but we love to have more other programming languages. We think that's the backbone, so students can learn those skills and then get jobs in the space. So yeah. There's another question in the back.
Do you do events, like side events, like at DevCon? Will you be doing anything or organizing anything, or?
We plan to fly some students there and work with some organizations in the space, but we didn't do side events. Most of our focus was in getting students there, getting the free tickets. We did at the Central Miami, and we did at most events in Florida, and we almost did a partnership to DEF CON, but it didn't happen. Yeah.
Hi. How do you get funding exactly for students?
Well, it's mostly alumni. Alumni becomes very successful, donates. They attribute their success to Ben. It was like, hey, Ben, you travel, you gave me the possibility to be at this event. That's where I got to find about Ethereum. Like me, for example, I was a student. I had no possibility to travel to Miami to attend the $1,500 conference. And Ben is like, hey, free tickets. And then we got it together. And we also, this previous year, we've seen something pretty cool happen, was large institutions in the space, like OTC firms, brokerages, turning into us and be like, hey, how can I give back? Can I do a donation? Can I help back the community? And I thought that was pretty cool. For the first time in the 7 years of history, like seeing large players giving back. Yeah. Any more questions?
Thank you.